Burden by an infrastructure deficit, which experts says would require billions of dollars to fix. Would there be a change this year as the country increases budget reallocation to capital projects? Would all the roads examined in the course of production last year receive attention this year? Join us. The state of infrastructure such as road, airport, railway, maritime, health centers, schools, power supply and lots more define the status of any nation. With growing population figure put at over 180 million and a disproportionate growth in budgetary spending on capital projects, Nigeria's over the years witnessed a huge infrastructure deficit, requiring over $100 billion within the next 6 years to shore up. The effect of the deficit left over 60% of the country's estimated 200,000 kilometers of road network prostrate. Electricity generation abysmally low, the maritime sector in a state of disrepair, and an inadequate national housing project.
It is being on record in the last few years that government and other, infrastructure-focused institutions and authority in Nigeria, including the private sector, we collectively might have been spending maybe about $10 billion. So it means that we have a gap increasingly that is hovering around $15 billion or plus. But if we're talking about value, and value is a bit static, we have to be relative to something, because the exchange rate that was 2 years ago at 156 naira to $1 is the same thing that has suddenly become 306 official and about 360 to $1, on the parallel market.
However, in the last 2 years, the present administration has increased budgetary spending in order to break the gap. This, according to some infrastructure experts, might not be enough.
Federal government need to fund infrastructure development bank. They need to empower ICRC, Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission. They need to empower them. And MDAs, they need to change the narrative by seeing PPP as the way to go. Because budgetary allocation is not enough. It's just not enough by going by what you're saying. Because if you look at it, people have been talking about the budget performance. But I always tell people that I have another dimension to it. That the amount that we are even budgeting in this country is grossly inadequate. A very good example, we are talking of 180 million people and you are talking of 7.7 trillion. It's not enough by the time you look at it. So government needs to look at the income side of the budget by making sure that people that are supposed to pay tax, make sure that you block all the leakages and loopholes like NNPC, any revenue yielding agency, they need to be monitored so that we have enough pool of resources to budget. The amount we are budgeting is grossly inadequate to drive the economy. It's not. That is why that private sector participation is very, very key and is inevitable. We need to look at that.
The road to recovery appears to have been set in motion as the nation's capacity to generate power hits 7,000 megawatts, though issues on distribution are still pending. Furthermore, the success of the 100 billion naira Sukuk bond project means more roads will be fixed.
I assure you that on 25 major routes that encompass the A1 to A4, which is the Lagos to Sokoto, Warri to Benin to Katsina, Port Harcourt to Makurdi to Yobe, and Calabar to Katsina, you will see action because we are now almost concluding the due process to deliver the Sukuk. So that will be 25 routes. Each zone of the country is getting 16.67 billion naira. And they are going to those major arterial routes that take us from port to the Sahel. So you will see a lot of work going on We've lost some time because we have to follow process. So since when the sukuk was agreed, the trustees are doing due diligence. But whatever happens, even if you don't feel all of the impact in Christmas, you will see it because we will have a dry period ahead of us when the contractors have money and you will see progress.
Also within the last 2 years, efforts have gone into major projects such as the Mambila Hydro Project, which has the capacity to generate over 3,000 additional megawatts of electricity to the national grid. Work is also set to continue on the Second Niger Bridge. If the estimated housing sector deficit put at over 17 million is anything to go by, the task of fixing this is obviously daunting, as it would require at least 500,000 units annually for the next 35 years to fix. The Minister of Power, Works and Housing says this too is being tackled.
It's a national housing program to test the design for two things around which previous housing initiatives have floundered: for acceptability by the citizens. There are empty houses that people don't like because they were not consulted when it was built. To also test it for affordability. There are also houses that some people like, they can't afford it. So we've done a lot of work in sampling, consulting across country, speaking to end users, speaking to architects, speaking to community leaders about what the preferences and cultural diversities dictate for housing choices. So that's why it's in a pilot state. So,
as the country looks forward to playing in the league of top 20 economies in no distant future, whatever this would require must be given the desired attention. Don't forget, you can always be part of Eyewitness Report by capturing those moments you want us to talk about with your camera and then send to our Eyewitness portal. Download the Channels TV app if you don't have already. Launch and swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu. Then follow instructions on how to upload your story. It's that easy, and it mustn't always be a sad one. One more thing, always add location and a form of contact such as phone numbers or email so we can get in touch with you and follow up on your story. Now let's see what you already uploaded for the week. Our first picture from Karu site in Abuja shows an NNPC filling station with vehicles packed in and around it. Our eyewitness reporter alleges that the station holds and selects who to sell the product to. Next image shows an overloaded truck along Abuja-Lokoja Expressway. Our eyewitness reporter wants the Federal Road Safety Corps to do more in stopping this dangerous act. The next shot shows the decaying Saragi-Basita Road in Kwara State. Our eyewitness reporter says the road gets worse by the day and wants the state government to repair it to prevent loss of lives. We also have this shot of overloaded vehicles apprehended by men of the Federal Road Safety Corps in Sokoto State. Our eyewitness enjoins motorists to exercise caution while traveling. The image of empty and allegedly abandoned boat shows the plight of fishermen in Rotel Fishing Camp in Okwama local government area of Bayelsa State. Our eyewitness says sea bandits now lay siege and cart away the fishermen's boat engine, leaving them stranded. He wants more protection for these fishermen, some of whom have abandoned their trade. Finally is this eyewitness video of fuel scarcity in Auchi, Edo State, and its impact on motorists.
Because the station has refused to sell, and it comes to our knowledge that there's actually fuel and some persons are hoarding it and selling it at black market price. So Mr. Ibrahim, would you mind giving us your experience of what has been going on here?
Yeah, I came here around 6 o'clock yesterday. Went to a sleep for fuel station. I queue. I didn't get the fuel. They just bring some jerry cans and some cars, buy the fuel and go back. We're still waiting up till now.
Those are your short. Please keep them coming. You may also want to visit our YouTube and other social media pages to view previous editions or hint us on development of stories treated already on this platform. Thank you for staying tuned. Till next week, I am Chris Alams and I'll keep my eyes on you. Bye-bye.